Welcome back to Crystals and Codes. If you're here, there's a good chance something has been pulling at you. A quiet curiosity. A feeling that reality is bigger and deeper than what you've been told. A hunger for something that actually makes sense of the world you're living in. If that's you, then today's video is exactly where you're supposed to be. Today we're going to talk about Ra. Not the Egyptian sun god you might have seen painted on tomb walls. Though, as you'll find out, that connection is more than just a coincidence. We're talking about Ra as introduced in one of the most profound spiritual texts ever recorded, the Law of One, also known as the Ra material. Whether you are brand new to this body of work, or you've heard the name whispered in spiritual communities and finally decided to dive in, this video is your entry point. We're going to read directly from the source, and then I'm going to break it down in plain, relatable terms so it lands in your heart, not just your head. So take a breath. Settle in. Let's begin. Historical context. To understand who Ra is, we first need to understand how these transmissions came to exist. In 1981, a research team in Louisville, Kentucky, led by physicist Don Elkins, channeler Carla Rueckert, and scholar Jim McCarty, began a series of sessions that would produce over 100 documented conversations with an intelligence that identified itself simply as Ra. These sessions became the 5 books of the Law of One, and they have quietly shaped the spiritual awakening movement for over 4 decades. Ra describes itself not as a single being, but as a social memory complex, a unified collective consciousness that has long since evolved beyond individual identity. In their own words, they exist in a state where polarities are harmonized, complexities are simplified, and paradoxes have solutions. They speak as one because they are one. And here is where it gets fascinating for history lovers. Ra claims to have walked this earth before. They describe making contact with the ancient Egyptians, offering teachings of unity and love, only to watch those teachings become distorted over time into hierarchy, ritual, and power. Ra takes responsibility for that. They acknowledge the ways their early transmissions were misunderstood, and they returned, through this quiet, humble channeling session in 1981, to try again, to clarify, to restore. That context matters, because everything Ra says is offered in service. There is no ego here, no performance, just an ancient, patient intelligence reaching across dimensions to remind us of something we already know deep inside, but have simply forgotten: the passage. Now let's read directly from the Ra material. These are 2 exchanges from the very beginning of the sessions. Listen carefully. Questioner: do you have a specific purpose? And if so, could you tell us something of what your purpose is? We are those who are of the Law of One. In our vibration, the polarities are harmonized, the complexities are simplified, the paradoxes have a solution. We are one. That is our nature and our purpose. We are old upon your planet and have served with varying degrees of success in transmitting the Law of One, of unity, of singleness to your peoples. We have walked your planet. We have seen the faces of your peoples. However, we now feel the great responsibility of staying in the capacity of removing the distortions and powers that have been given to the Law of One. We will continue in this until, shall we say, your cycle is appropriately ended. If not this one, then the next. Consider, if you will, that the universe is infinite. This has yet to be proven or disproven, but we can assure you that there is no end to yourselves, your understanding, what you would call your journey of seeking, or your perceptions of the creation. That which is infinite cannot be many, for manyness is a finite concept. To have infinity, you must identify or define the infinity as unity. Otherwise, the term does not have any reference or meaning. In an infinite creator, there is only unity. You have seen simple examples of unity. You have seen the prism, which shows all colors stemming from the sunlight. This is a simplistic example of unity. In truth, there is no right or wrong. There is no polarity, for all will be, as you would say, reconciled at some point in your dance through the mind-body-spirit complex, which you amuse yourself by distorting in various ways at this time. This distortion is not in any case necessary. It is chosen by each of you as an alternative to understanding the complete unity of thought, which binds all things. You are not speaking of similar or somewhat like entities or things. You are everything, every being, every emotion, every event, every situation. You are unity. You are infinity. You are love, light, light, love. You are. This is the law of one. The breakdown. Let's sit with that for a moment. Ra opens with what sounds like a mission statement. We are those who are of the law of one. They're not claiming to be gods. They're not asking to be worshipped. They are simply identifying themselves by what they have become. A consciousness that has dissolved the illusion of separation so completely that there is no more us and them. There is only we. When they say the polarities are harmonized, the complexities are simplified, the paradoxes have a solution. They are describing what awaits all of us at the end of our evolutionary journey. Every conflict you've wrestled with, every question that kept you up at night, every contradiction you couldn't resolve, Ra is saying, there is a vantage point from which all of it makes sense, and that vantage point is unity. They also say something deeply moving. We have walked your planet. We have seen the faces of your peoples. This is not abstract philosophy. This is an ancient intelligence expressing something that sounds remarkably like love, like grief, like devotion. They came here before. They tried. The message got distorted, and they came back. Not out of obligation, but out of what can only be described as profound care for humanity. Now let's talk about the second passage, because this is where it gets truly extraordinary. Ra asks you to consider that the universe is infinite. And then they do something clever with logic. They say that if something is infinite, it cannot be many things, because many is a concept that only works within limits. If you have a finite amount of something, you can count it. You can separate it. You can say this one and that one. But infinity has no edges. It cannot be divided. It can only be understood as one unified whole. Think about that prism Ra mentions. White light enters. A rainbow exits. 7 distinct colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. All appearing to be separate, individual, different. But pull the prism away, and there is only one light. The separation was never real. It was just light, expressing itself through a particular lens. You are that light. Every person you've ever loved, every stranger who frustrated you, every moment of heartbreak and every moment of joy. Ra is saying all of it is you. Not metaphorically, not poetically, literally. You are not a separate being observing a universe. You are the universe, dreaming that you are a person, exploring itself from the inside out. And what about the concept of right and wrong, good and evil? Ra doesn't dismiss the reality of your human experience, but they do offer you a longer lens. From the perspective of infinity, every polarity, every apparent darkness, and every apparent light is ultimately reconciled. Not erased, reconciled. Understood as part of a whole that was never broken to begin with. The distortions Ra speaks of, the ways you complicate your experience, the dramas and the struggles and the forgetting, are not mistakes. They are choices. Choices made by a soul that wanted to explore, to grow, to remember itself. And the remembering? That is what you are doing right now, in this very moment. So hear this, and let it land somewhere deep. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are not small. You are a portion of the infinite Creator, temporarily wearing a human face, on a journey back to the truth of what you have always been. Stop waiting for permission to know yourself as divine. Stop shrinking to fit spaces that were never built for your magnitude. Stop apologizing for the depth of your seeking. You are everything, every being, every emotion, every event, every situation. You are unity. You are infinity. You are love. This is the law of one. If this resonated with you, share this video with someone who is ready to hear it. Subscribe to Crystals and Codes for more journeys into the deeper frequencies of existence. And in the comments below, tell me, what was the line that hit you the hardest? Until next time, with so much love, keep seeking.